Creatives, welcome to our Spring Bunny class. Today I'm going to teach you how to use a stencil to make a pattern background, and then we're going to string a bunny and add a little fuzzy tail. So this is the perfect craft for spring. So you can use any type of reusable stencil that you want. You can get them from any of the craft stores. You can get them online. I actually forgot I had this one. It's like an extra big one, so you don't need one this big. You just want it to fit your 8x10 piece of wood, and then you need some good sponges. So I have a few different kinds. These are my favorite, the Martha Stewart ones. They are in my Amazon store. I'm not sure what stores sell them because I've never gotten them in person. But they are the best because with stencils, if you get too much paint, it bleeds a lot underneath. These are probably my next favorite. These are from Walmart, and you get them in a whole pack. We use these in our kits sometimes. And then these are like some cheap ones off Amazon that I would not recommend using for reusable stencils. So I'm going to use these, and I have 4 different sizes. The size shouldn't matter because all of my spaces are smaller than the sponge themselves. So because I have 4 sponges, I need to pick 4 colors, and I've gone back and forth on this. I can't decide what colors to use. So I use this string a lot. It's actually a multicolor. I use this one a lot for our rabbits during the spring, but I've never tried to do like a pattern background behind it. I do think it would be cute, and I'm not sure I have enough on this roll, but I guess we could try it. So I might stick with traditional colors and do the pattern rabbit. It might be really busy, I don't know. The other idea I had was to use the peach with a coral, a yellow, and maybe 2 other colors like green and blue. So I don't really know. I think I'm just going to stick with the multicolor. Alright. So I'll use light pink, light purple, light green, and light blue for my stencil. And I didn't get a plate, so I'll just use a piece of wood. I use whatever I can find as a paint tray. Alright, so when you're using reusable stencils like this, you want to make sure that you have it the way you want it before you start painting. So I could start with this over in the corner here, but when I'm done, what I'm going to have is half shapes here and whole shapes here. Okay, so I'll have half on 2 sides of my board and whole on the other. So I don't want that. What I like to do is to center the stencil so that I have about the same shape on each corner and side. So if I place it here, that's going to end on a square. So yeah, if I place it here, then I'm going to have half shapes on both sides, and then just a little bit on the top and the bottom. So that way it's going to be consistent all the way around. Now, with the sponges, what we want to do, get one of my colors here, so I'll just start with purple. Let's see, so there's really 3 shapes across. Maybe I should just use 3 colors. So I may just use green, blue, and purple since that's what's in here. I'm just going to use 3 colors. So green, blue, and purple. Alright, so there's my decision. Got paint everywhere. Okay, so what we're going to do is take one of these sponges. Let me try to get this where you can see it. The fact that this is really big is probably going to mess me up. I'm probably going to end up moving it. Try something else. If I put this at the top, then maybe I won't hit it with my shirt. So I'm going to center, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just centering it from the bottom up instead of the top down. That way it'll lay flat. Okay. Now maybe it won't shift on me. Okay, so I have three, in this particular pattern, I have 3 spots. So I'm going to take my stencil, doesn't matter which one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab this into my purple paint and make sure the sponge is covered good, and then I'm going to wipe that excess off. I don't want a whole bunch of paint on my sponge because it's more likely to bleed. So I'm just going to start in a corner and I'm going to start dabbing that on. Now I don't start dabbing right on the sides because if there is extra paint, I don't want to hit the sides first. So I kind of start in the middle and dab around like that. Okay, so I still have purple paint in my sponge. So what I'm going to do, I think I'll do like purple, green, blue, and then I'll offset it. So I'm just going to go ahead. I think it'll be easier for me if I do alternating colors so that I can see what color I need to do next. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all 3 of my colors here while I try not to shift my stencil. And then I'm just going to pick up another sponge and I'm going to go with green. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm dipping it in and then wiping off excess. And then I'm going to come here to the middle and start dabbing. So these Martha Stewart sponges are amazing. It's a lot faster. The sponges are thicker, so it doesn't ooze extra paint all over your, well, more importantly, it doesn't ooze it under your stencil. So here I'm just going to do blue. So I'm going to alternate these colors all the way across the board. So you could do a bigger board. In fact, I was going to do a bigger board, but it'd be a lot of stencil painting. So it's just however much time you want to spend on the stencil painting. So we use stencils like this and these sponges to do our studio walls. So we did the big mandala stencils all over our studio walls. It's really pretty. So I love using patterns like this. I actually learned something today. So you know, I really like to reuse wood and boards, and so I always have scrap that have been painted, and often I will grab, I'll grab the wood scraps and use them for examples for classes and stuff. So sometimes they're stained and it is harder to paint over stain. So this board was stained. And I knew it would be harder to cover, but what I didn't realize was that if I used multi-surface paint, it would never want to dry. So I never got started on this project today because I couldn't get this wood to dry. And it didn't help that I kept changing my mind on the colors. So I started it out with white, which was fine, and I should have left it that way. But then I thought, well, maybe I should do ivory, and then I can do an ivory string bunny. And I thought that would be so cute. It didn't turn out very well. So I'm starting to get a pattern here, which is not what I wanted to do. I wonder if maybe I should throw a 4th color in there. Because I don't want the green all the way down the middle. But if I don't have a 4th color, they're going to be right next to each other. So let's see what I want to do. I think I'm going to try to break it up with a little pink. and I just dipped my sponge in the wrong pile, so I'm going to get a different one. I'll just show you the difference between some of these. So hopefully I can do this without moving my stencil. Risky. Okay, so these are the Walmart ones. I'm just going to grab one of the bigger ones that's in the pack. It's the same process. I'm just going to dab it off, make sure it's all covered. I'm going to put some pink right here. Alright, now I can put some green somewhere other than the middle. So I think I'll do this one green. You gotta kind of watch the edges or you'll end up in one of your other colors. I'll probably go back and do one of these blues and pink too, to kind of spread that out a little bit. Alright, so green, what do I want to do now? Definitely need some more pink, so I'm going to do this little corner guy over here pink. So see, these sponges are pretty good too. I like the ergonomics of these here. They're easier to hold on to. Alright, how about blue? I think I'm overthinking these colors. I do get a little OCD over my colors. Yeah, some people don't like their food touching. I don't like my color, like my same colors next to each other. Definitely like to spread those out. I like to see all the colors. I feel like I'm right back where I started here. I think it'll be fine. Once we get the rabbit on there, we won't see a lot of this anyways. So do a purple down here. That's probably the hardest part about this is picking colors. I know I've been hung up on it today, that's for sure. Alright, then we'll do green in the corner. Do another pink over here. Whoop. So that had a lot of paint on it, so it may have bled. I thought I had wiped most of it off, but I didn't. We'll see when we lift it up. Honestly, when you're doing sponge and stencils, the least amount of paint you have on your brush, the better it is. So you're better off doing several coats of light color than you are trying to do like one heavy coat. Ran out of green here and my bottle's almost empty. Let's see if I can get any more. A little bit there. Don't you love the end of the bottle when everything squeezes out and just splatters? Alright, I'll do this in green. Thank goodness for stencils, because trying to hand paint this would be a mess. For me anyways. I know some people could do it. I could do it, I just don't think I have the patience to hand paint each one of these little shapes. Okay, so what do you think? The only thing I'm not loving are these corners up here. I think I should do a pink corner. So I wonder if I can go over it. I'm not sure it'll cover. Let's do it. Actually, I'm just going to leave it. So what we're going to do is just pull this straight up. Isn't that cute? So we have this adorable spring pattern, and it was so easy. You could do any pattern you wanted. So you get a chevron stencil. You could do, you could just do polka dots if you wanted. You wouldn't need to use a stencil for that. You could just use your sponges. But I love that. So very colorful, really pretty. Now these Martha Stewart's, I always rinse them all out because they just come out like this. So you can just pop the whole sponge out and rinse it, and you can even just flip it if you want. So I try to get as many uses as possible out of my sponges. When they're not the super cheap ones, you can get several projects out of them. Okay, let me move this before I end up putting my arm in it. I clearly got way too much paint as usual. I'm the worst at that. I've got something here. I need to try to get that out of my paint. I don't know what that is. Alright. So now we just need this dry. So I'm going to hit it with a blow dryer, and then we'll do our string part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this around. I'm just going to, I'll probably center the rabbit. You could put it either way you wanted. So you could do the board long ways and put it in the middle, or you could do it vertically and center it. So I think I'm just going to stick with this direction. It'd be cute to paint like eggs or something in the background too. That would be really adorable. And I even thought about doing flowers, but ever since I saw this stencil the other day, I've been wanting to use it. So here we are. But we will be doing flowers at some point soon, I'm sure, with all the sunlight in the springtime. I'm getting in the mood for some flowers. So alright, I'm going to take this down and start nailing. Okay, so we have our nails in, and now it's just simple string art. So the technique today was more about the stencil than the string. And now I have another decision to make. Color. So honestly, I I wondered how this might look if I just outlined it and left the colorful bunny, but I think it's gonna need some, I think it needs string in the center. This might almost look better with solid color. So I have this little fuzzy ball, but I think it's way too big. I'll probably end up using one of these little ones. So these are pom-poms. You can get them at Walmart, like in a bag like this, or they have these fuzzy ones with the little sparkles on them. So all different sizes. I love this big fluffy ball, but I'm gonna have to do a big bunny to put that on. I hope I like this color. That's more of a peach. I don't know if that really, it might be really cute though. And I had ivory, which I don't think that'll look good. I do have light pink. I wonder if I should do that. I think it's going to be too busy with the colored string, so I'm going to wait on that. Get this off. I have some pink or purple really close to me. I feel like there's a lot of purple on the board though, and we'll be covering up some of this pink, so I think pink is what I'm going to go with. Cut this off. Let me grab this real quick. Alright, I don't think there's probably not enough on this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it. Try to finish it up. Alright, so I'm gonna use a solid color. So I just can't make decisions today, keep changing my mind. Alright, I'm going to tie that on. Little super glue. So double knot, little super glue, cut the tail. This is our mantra in string art, isn't it? Just like that. Now this design, it might be helpful for you to outline it so you can see the shape. So with this one, where you want to watch is right here because the nails go towards each other. So you don't want to bring your string straight up right here because you'll lose the shape of the rabbit. You'll just have like a big blob. Another issue is right here. You don't want to bring your string in the space between the ears, because if you fill this space between the ears, it's going to lose the shape. So if you want, you can go around and do just a quick outline with your string and wrap that color around the nails, and that way you have kind of a guide as to where to stay with your string. So now that I have a border, I can make sure I don't cross here. So you don't want to go from this nail straight up. That's not going to work. And you don't want to go across the ears here or right here. So those are the, oh well, and also right here. Just make sure you're keeping the shape. So what I'm going to do is hold this string tight, and I'm going to start wrapping it back and forth and up and down around the nails, and I'm going to try to fill in gaps as I go. So I don't want to go any one direction. Going back and forth, side to side, and up and down. Hold the string tight. Drop this on the floor out of the way. It's tangled up. So just to show you, if you notice that you have this random string here between the ears, you need to back that up, okay? If you have a random string right here, you need to back that out, all right? You don't want to cover those. You will start to lose the shape. So you're just filling in these spaces, fill in the gaps until you like the way it looks. So no right or wrong amount of string. You just want it to be consistent all the way through. Keep wrapping. Make sure you get the ears. So this one keeps popping off because I'm trying to grab this nail that's kind of pushed. It has a lot of string on it, and I think it's further down than the ones around it, so the string's popping off. So just push that string down a little bit, and then keep going. Had more pink string than I thought I did. End of my rope here. Not literally, or maybe literally, I don't know. I have 2 teenagers, so I probably am. Alright, so I think that even though I'm at the end, I think I like the way that looks. It's consistent throughout, so I'm going to go ahead and fill and tie it off. If I didn't think it was consistent, I'd just tie a second roll on and keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and double knot this over one of the nails. A little bit of glue. And cut. Alright, so we're done with the string. Now we just need a little bunny tail. So I have the several different kinds. You see what I mean? That one's way too big. It takes up like the whole bunny butt. So I think this is a better size. This one has the little sparkles on it. I think I'm going to keep that one. I actually like that. So it has these little kind of sparklies coming out. I think I'm going to use that one. The other option is just a plain white one. So this we just need to glue on, and you can use hot glue. The super glue might work. I might go ahead and try it. I don't know if it'll hold very well with the super glue. But hot glue will definitely hold it. We've used that in the studio. Alright, so we're done with our spring bunny. Cute little background and cute little bunny. Alright, y'all let me know if you have any questions.